Donald Trump is the President of the United States of America. In this video, I'm going to be giving you tips, the very one tip that he used to become the president, to get massive voters, to get people to come out to vote in numbers for him. At the same time, the tip in this very video will give you better relationships if you are struggling with women. The same tips in this video would help you to build a very strong personal brand. So stick to the very end because that's it. So this is coming from the chapter 12 of this book, The Diary of a CEO. This book has a lot of ideas that would help you with life and in business. This episode is called You Must Piss People Off. Now, Donald Trump understood something, right? For him to become president, he needs people to come out to vote for him regardless. And the people that will vote for him are people who will be passionate to see him as president. One thing that he did was he looked at the current system, right, and understood that there are people who hate the system so much they want to change it. Whether it's for the good or for the worse, they just want to change it. Whether it's by ideas or by beliefs. Now, he aligned with those people, right? He went on their side and said, if you vote for me, right, that particular idea that you hate will be gone. If you vote for me, whether it's immigration, whether it's LGBTQ, I'm not here to judge ideas. I'm just telling you what he did. It's the same thing that brands do. Brands understand that if you try to make your product appeal to everybody, everybody will not buy. Same thing with relationships. If you're trying to make everybody like you, despite the fact you do not like everybody, you're going to suffer because you're going to feel some form of hatred because no matter how good you are, you cannot get everybody to like you. Even the man who had 12 followers, 12 disciples, could not get the world to like him. Instead, they killed him. I'm sorry. I just fronted that out. You already know who I'm talking about. It's the same reason, right, that religions spring up. It's the same reason religions have stood till today. The key word here is to be polarizing. It's the same reason the strongest personal brands are there because they have a lot of people they appeal to. At the same time, they are very polarizing. To be very, very honest, deep down myself, I have found it difficult to be polarizing. At first, although I'm slowly not so, the idea of being polarizing is not for the sake of being polarizing. Because that is what I see most people do. It's being polarizing for the sake of building a community and saying, we are going, this is where we are heading. Other people should not be my business. Because by default, saying that this is where you are going, right? Because at the same time, why I said I used to be less polarizing was because I kind of realized that for most polarization to take place, is mostly you casting stones on the other side. So for example, you're trying to help men, right? Because you're trying to help men, sometimes you begin to throw shades at women, so you get the men who are angry at women to be on your side. But I feel like my cases might be different. I'm exploring it, but for the sake of these are the kinds of men that I feel like, belong to this movement. Now, other men, you don't belong and you're different. So we're going to have different results. That is the idea of my polarization that I'm trying to effect into my brand. So that everybody, it's also a way of like I said, we know where we are going to, and by default, because actually, by not even starting yet, I've given some people my ideas, and some people are already pissed. Imagine this. I'm talking to a lady who asked me, why do I create content? And my response was, I create content to tell men to become strong again. And she says, why do we want strong men? I said, well, because nobody actually sees a need for weak men. Then she starts ranting on the patriarch, yada, yada, yada. Then I figured a way to like try to shut her up. Try to. I'm saying that, okay, would you agree with me that most of the rape cases come from weak men? Because, yeah. And she's like, yeah, because no strong man rapes anybody. I'm saying yes. I'm trying to reduce that. Now, looking at my response, she still wanted to comment, but she was like, well, we don't need strong men. I'm like saying, well, you know what that means. And she kept quiet. So just because I'm telling people how I want to build a community, automatically, she's already pissed. Same thing for guys. I tell guys that when you're speaking to women, right, do this. You have to be polarizing. It's either she's with you or she's not. Now, if she's with, so take attraction to be like a scale of 0 to 10. So you might walk up to a lady and she's okay with you, she's accepting. That doesn't mean that she's a 5 or a 6. Anything beyond a 6, it's better for you to strike it out and say nope and move on. It's better for you because we used to have this idea that taking a girl who is attracted to us by 2/10 is a wise option to take her to 10/10. Meanwhile, somebody who already likes you to be somebody who is already drawn to you with a level of 6/10 would embrace and will love your presence. They'll love your presence so much that you won't even think about these other people. And I can tell any guy, I mean, obviously, you have to do some internal work also to be very polarizing. It works every single time. So, okay, you're talking to her and you're saying, let's do this, right? Speak in that very commanding tone. Now, another thing it helps you to do is it helps you to become more dominant, more assertive, much more confident. It feels like you are taking the lead in this kind of situations. So you can see how polarizing as itself will help you. Same thing with your friends. If your friends are not with you, right, on your goals, that is all of you and on everyone's goals, then why are they there? I'm not saying that it should be transactional, but you will know when it is genuine. Because to be very frank, you don't want friends who know you for just one part. For example, is back in the days, I used to be the kind of person who wants to please people. And I've kind of noticed that whenever maybe I'm doing a party or I'm doing an event, I invite some people, I bring some people. But it dawned on me that people have rarely invited me to theirs. So ever since, and these guys may probably get good deals. They might get, even sometimes they might get involved in some business, and they never bring it to me. And to show you how genuine, when I put this thing into practice, to bust your head. Now I create content, right? I create content. One of my guys saw a deal for a drone that was like literally quarter the price for the brand new drone. Immediately he hit me up, and he's like, bro. Now, he could have gone to sell that drone for half the price. But that is times of the price he gave to me. But still, right? He understood that I wanted it. I didn't need it. I wanted it. And yet he brought it to me. That was all that mattered. That he brought it to me. So you can see how the idea of being polarizing here helps. Because I've cut off a lot of people who I would say have been of zero benefits to me. And yet, he's here. And now, obviously, there are benefits I've given to him. And we are both looking for ways to help ourselves grow, whether it's financially, as a whole, basically. Because we talk like once a month, twice a month. We see like almost every month. We don't see every day, but we actively put in that effort to keep the friendship going. He shows me ideas. He shows me deals. When I'm interested, I can take advantage. I could have sold that drone after buying it for twice the price at which I bought it. But then again, he could have done the same thing because that's his business. He literally sells gadgets. So I'm just saying this because a lot of guys need to understand this thing because it's pissing me off. And to be very, very frank, I really wish I understood this thing. Speaking of that, I'm supposed to make a video about how people can survive university. I'll make that video later. So in business, there are 3 kinds of people. The people who would love you, which is in life basically. There are 3 kinds of people. The people who would love you, the people who would hate you, the people who will be indifferent. These people, right, who love you, they will buy from you. These people who hate you, sometimes they will buy from you because they want to criticize you. Or sometimes they will help you spread the word to those who really love you. The third people who are indifferent are not people you should focus on. Because they would really even applaud you. They will really support you. It's not their business what you do. Okay, what do you do? All right, you move on. They have other things vying for their attention. And they're the least profitable. Same thing with Apple. So I'm just giving you instances over and over again. So at some point, you should get the gist. Apple will gather like 100 people. They will piss off 80% of the people and say, okay, for our brand, we have a journey. And for this journey, we only need these 20 people. Now, Apple has a smart way of making huge profit from these 20 people rather than making that same profit from 100 people. That is because of Steve Jobs understood that concept. It's also a concept that startup founders are advised to do. Pick a fight. Pick a fight that is meaningful. Sometimes you can pick a fight with a giant. And I know sometimes some giants may not respond to you, but it helps a lot. Because the enemy of an enemy is also a friend. I literally have seen this thing play out several times, where people trying to bring down their enemies, they form collaboration with the enemy's enemy. They become friends. So I really feel like something that I myself, I am slowly opening up towards it. That's also why I also share this thing, because when I share them, it forces me to rethink about the ideas and ask myself deep down, this thing I'm saying, this thing I'm preaching, am I practicing it? Because it's one thing for you to preach something, it's a different ball game for you to practice it. The real change comes when you practice it, not when you preach it. When you preach it, you may have some knowledge, but when you practice and preach, you have some understanding. So I really feel like if you really like this episode, if you really love this episode, you can check out this book. It's the episode 12. So it is the Law 12, because episode is me just breaking down the book and looking for ways, bringing ideas together to help you. It's the Law 12 that says you must piss people off. Remember, even without pissing people off, the fact that some people love you strongly, automatically they hate you. And speaking of that, I may digress a little bit. I always say something that feminists inspire me. They inspire me because they remind me that keep doing what I'm doing, I will attract the right audience, right? If I keep spreading my message around, at some point, things will click. I remember seeing this lady, I think they call her the queen of Alte vibe right here in Nigeria. And when I hear what she's talking about, and kind of, mind you, she has like a massive audience, a massive community. And seeing how much the community is, and the fact that she has her friends, she has her people. At the same time, they have people who they have pissed off. They've pissed off the conservatives. They pissed off a lot of people. But still, they inspire me to do it regardless. Same thing with the cross-dresser in Nigeria. He pisses a lot of people off, which I tell people, if he's pissing you off, leave him alone. He just wants your attention. You insulting him will give him that attention. So, one thing again I'll say is that he has a lot of people that hate him. Also, automatically, he has a lot of people that love him strongly. I mean, to the point where some people snuck him out of the country. Do you know how much it costs to sneak people out of the country? It runs into tens of thousands of dollars. People pay that money just for that guy. I'll call him a guy because biologically he's a guy. So, for gender pronouns and all that. Thank you very much. I really hope I was able to convince you. And if you love the ideas, go ahead and grab this book. It's a real book. Stephen Bartlett is a very smart guy. I like the way he brings ideas together that are very practical and to help you as a person. So thank you very much. Kindly share my video with that person who you know finds it very difficult to be polarizing. He finds it very difficult to stand out because he wants to be in everybody's good books. Share this video with somebody who has problem with women, because not like he's getting some women, but he's not getting the right thing from women because he's not polarizing. He's not pissing them off. He's not pissing some off. He's not telling some of them off. Fuck off. So thank you very much. I don't know, I could just keep rambling for a very long time, but I figured that a lot of people have clicked up by now because I have repeated myself over and over again. Thank you very much. Thank you for tuning in. Go ahead and share my video. I'll talk to you soon.